Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder. Today, we are diving into a report from Inmune Bio, and trust me, after looking at this, you might need a little something to help with. Well, you'll see it involves Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and inflammation. Sounds fun, right? But don't worry, we'll break it down in plain English. So Inmune Bio Inc. filed what's called an 8K report on April 9, 2025. An 8K is basically a company saying, hey, something important happened, and we want to tell you about it now. In this case, it's about a presentation they gave at a big international conference about Alzheimer's and Parkinson's diseases. The event that triggered this report happened on April 3, 2025. That's when Inmune Bio presented a poster. Think of it like a science fair project at the International Conference on Alzheimer's and Parkinson's Diseases in Vienna, Austria. The poster was about their MINFull Phase 2 clinical trial. A clinical trial is how new medicines are tested. Phase 2 means they are testing it on a larger group of people to see if it works and to check for side effects. The trial is for people in the early stages of Alzheimer's disease who also show signs of inflammation, which is like swelling in their bodies. They're trying to find out if their drug can help these patients. The poster presentation explained the background information of the patients in the study. This includes things like age, gender, and certain biomarkers. Biomarkers are like signals in the body that can tell doctors about a disease. In this case, they're looking at biomarkers related to inflammation to see if their drug is working on the right people. The actual poster presentation is included as an exhibit, basically an attachment to this report. If you really want to geek out on the details, you can find it there. There's a section called Regulation FD Disclosure, which is just a fancy way of saying they're making sure everyone has the same information at the same time. They don't want some people knowing something important before others. That would not be fair. So by filing this report, they're telling everyone at once. There's a disclaimer that this information isn't officially filed in the same way as some other reports. This means they're not necessarily responsible if something in the poster turns out to be wrong, but they still want to share the information publicly. They also state that this information should not be directly included in other filings made to the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. Now let's get into whether this is a thumbs up or a thumbs down for Inmune Bio. Well, this filing is not about immediate finances. It's more about giving an update on their research and development. There aren't any financial tables to dive into here, so we won't be doing any Warren Buffett style analysis. David Moss, the Chief Financial Officer, signed off on the report. This means he's taking responsibility for making sure the information is accurate, at least to the best of his knowledge. Okay, so what does all this mean? Well, Inmune Bio is working on a treatment for Alzheimer's, which is a huge and devastating disease. Their approach focuses on inflammation, which is different from some other Alzheimer's drugs out there. This could be a good thing if it turns out to be effective. The problem is they are still in the early stages of seeing if it works. However, there are risks. Drug development is a long and expensive process, and many drugs fail along the way. There's no guarantee that their MINFull trial will be successful or that they'll be able to get their drug approved by regulators. Also, the company does not have any approved products and relies on its research and development. Despite the risk, the company is a speculative play, since it has a market capitalization of just $100 million. If this drug succeeds, it would be worth many times more than that. Overall, Inmune Bio is a very risky stock, but if the drug succeeds, it would be worth many multiples of where it is now. Thanks for watching. If you found this breakdown helpful, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe for more Corporate Decoder deep dives.